All right, guys, welcome. Welcome, people. Okay, so I'm a little bit late on. I have I think the weather's been terrible, guys. So sometimes the weather is messing up Zoom and stuff like that. So it's been a bit of an interesting one this week. All right. I hope you guys are good. Get yourselves in. Now, it's been an interesting week on the crypto market. There's been quite a few things happening on both sides. And I'm excited to see what exactly the market is going to be doing, moving forward. All right. Let's have a look and see what we have going on here. Now, I'm currently in silver short. Now, before I actually go over to crypto, this is an important point. At this current time, guys, there's a lot of different aspects of the market that are going to be important moving forward. All right. Now, with silver short, which is more of a commodity play on the short side, I do think that we're seeing a shift in where money is going to. Okay. And as this bull market continues, hence why we're discussing weekend gains, I do think that now I'm into silver because of technical reasons, and also there are fundamental things to do with the price of gold and silver. All right. Now we've had the non-farm payrolls today, which doesn't really affect crypto that much. Now, if you trade Forex or you've traded Forex, you know what happens to the dollar. But as you can see, if I go to the charts right here, Bitcoin hasn't even moved in a smidgen, if you would want to put it that way. Now, at the moment, we're seeing that Bitcoin is around about the 55K mark, and the order block that is still operating in is right here. Okay. Now, I've had quite a positive week. I'll keep it peach. I usually use gray, but I mean, hey, it's the same. Now, if we look at the price action we had with Bitcoin so far this week, so since now, let's put this here. So this week we've gone from 46. Here was the grab of liquidity that I was talking about. So if I go to the daily here from a H1 view, you can see right here, this grab of liquidity was the signature, which I told you guys that was the trigger for the movement above 50K. All right, this is an institutional movement for sure. And this was an opportunity for the price to go on and give what we should be looking for. Now, if you look at the price action, although we've had very strong pockets of bullish activity, literally just all bull candles in 1 hour. Here we had a liquidation of about 225 million short positions on Bitcoin 1 hour. And we've had another push here. So you can see the balance between institutional money and just normal price action here. These pockets here are definitely institutional buying as things are going on. And I do expect the price to continue. Now, Bitcoin has performed really well. And from the H4 perspective, it's gone from 4,600 all the way up to 55 or 56, just about. All right. So that 10K increase is, over 20, I think around about 30%. Now, why do I expect weekend gains to continue? Well, number one, let's talk about the technical side of things. If I go to the hourly time frame here, we've had a body close above the previous day's high. Okay. Now, the second major reason why I'm looking at this for potential long, now I'm not looking at on-chain analytics, but just level one data, which is chart data. We have an accumulation here, which happened for me anyway, in my time zone, which I'm in. I'm from London. I hope you can tell by my accent. Okay. We have an accumulation of price from the US session into Asia. And then in the morning, when we come to the UK session, we see this massive explosion here before it's met with the price returning back to the same demand. Now, we've just touched back in the demand zone that's broken out of this range. Now, whenever there's an accumulation, there's a redistribution of liquidity. And I explained to you looking at the charts back. So if we look at this example here, we had another accumulation here during my time in the night, which would be Asia for me. So between 10 to about 6 in the morning. All right. Now, if you notice, there's been many accumulations across the price. Some of these accumulations here that we've had have produced two different movements. Some are what I call stop hunts, okay, to hunt for stop losses on the futures market, and others are just, redistribution of liquidity as more orders pile up on Bitcoin. Now, we've just had one now, and we've had a spike, and there's an opportunity here where we just had a return. Now, if I draw out the H4 demand zone here. This is the demand zone, which was the trigger for this long. All right. Now, if I go down even further and we have a look at this, you can see the price has just reacted here. And if I'm more specific, demand is right here on the M15, excuse me. So I am expecting that into tomorrow, as long as the price stays between this above 54,000 and $34, around about to this range of 34,117, excuse me, 54,117. It's a long time since we had 34, but if the price continues here, we can expect over Saturday and Sunday to see some very good gains. All right. And that may just push Bitcoin over the edge into the 60 mark. Now, what I really want to see now, because we're seeing this recovery where we've gone from this point here of 29 back up to 55, it is very exciting. And there is an aspect to the market where it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more Bitcoin's price, starts to moon, the more people will be talking about it. And the more people are talking about it, the more money is going to, come out from that. Okay, so my suggestion is, I always like to keep, first of all, an integrous way of how to say things so that it doesn't sound deceptive. But, based on those conditions of Bitcoin, if the price can sustain that, then we should be looking for a long. Now, at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the price sold off a little bit one more time from a technical perspective. Because again, this supply zone is a very strong area, and it was very instrumental in the market crash, mini crash, you can say, from this same kind of price period in May all the way down to 29,600 mark. Okay, but one good thing on the other hand, and this is an important point, is that we have closed above Bitcoin Day. We've had a daily close above the day of this crash movement here. Now, on a side note, guys, and this is important, and from that perspective now, Bitcoin is an enemy of the state of most Western countries. For countries who are very dollarized, is actually an escape route out of the dollar becoming loss of the faith in dollar and the dollar, and then currency devaluation. But for now, the dollar is still quite mighty, and Bitcoin offers an opportunity for countries like El Salvador and other countries which are faced with, usually it starts with political issues and then it spurs into economic issues of things like hyperinflation or just large inflation, lots of currency printing, the same old thing. And also fraudulent activity where, Bitcoin, one of the things about it, why I like it, is because it is digital real estate and you can verify every transaction and ownership. Ethereum's even, levels of magnitude better than Bitcoin in that sense because it has smart contracts. But nonetheless, countries where there's a lot of fraudulent activity, government officials steal land from people who've paid hard-earned money and give it to family members. All of that can be stopped if there's proof of it, which comes from blockchain, which is something that has to be immutable, and I do believe that that will help much more in the future. So countries that experience, now every country has corruption in it, let's just be honest, but certain countries seem to have more apparent corruption than, I would say, Western countries, because things are more hidden and polished. But saying what we have here with Bitcoin, Bitcoin definitely will be a safe haven because it is a fantastic form of money. Now, at the moment, with where the price is, what we really need to do until I'm sticking to the daily because I think it's the most stable time frame. Now, whenever we go into price discovery mode, this is where on-chain analytics will be your best friend because you can't analyze to the left when there's nothing to look to the left. What do I mean? If there's no supply and demand order blocks made, highs and lows made, then you have no reference from a technical side of what to do. Okay. Now, the last supply zone before the price starts to take off, anyway, from the daily time frame anyway, would be here. Okay. So if the price is managing over this weekend, for example, to cross past this 59K mark towards 60, if we get a body close above here on any day, we shouldn't have any problems with breaking past this area. Now, every time an all-time high is made, this is an important point too, it's going to create a psychological level, okay? No matter how you put it, because it's the highest point the price has gone to, different types of investors will react differently. Some people actually bought at the top here and is waiting. Oh, they are waiting for Bitcoin to come back. And so, based on what we've got with the price action here, once we get here, I do expect the price not to struggle because there's massive amounts of supply necessarily, but rather because it's an area where some people will try to close out and break even, to be really honest. That's just the truth. And that will cause some sort of reaction. Okay. Now, moving forward from here, on the other hand, on the daily structure, the price is still reading, and this is an important point here. The price is still reading, despite what I said on the hourly. Remember, the higher the time frame, the stronger the influence it has on the price. According to what we have here, on this daily time frame, the wick of the candle has closed above these highs right here, which means we could have a reversal signature if there is sufficient, breaks of market structure. If the body of the candle closes, so in essence, we need, although we've had a close on the hourly, I'd really like to see on the daily time frame a close above the previous day's high, which is around about 55. To be exact, it is $55,679. If you have a body close here, then that would be an easy win for Bitcoin into tomorrow. All right, so this is my view on what we have going on with the markets here. Now, for me, with the current news that I discussed yesterday about Ethereum is a ticking time bomb. And I do believe that Ethereum is going to be absolutely crazy sooner or later. And when I look at the charts, it just gives me the vibes that it's just a matter of time before it starts to explode. Okay, I could just see from the charts that it's almost raring to go. Ethereum isn't a fantastic project, and I do believe we are going to see some massive gains moving forward from here. So, I would definitely say that it would be wise for you guys to definitely be prepared. I think Ethereum is just only the beginning. And, when I think about Ethereum, I think about the internet. Now, what makes the internet work is a protocol called the TCP IP, okay, where we get IP addresses and etc. That is the foundational layer that allows for the internet to work. Now, Ethereum is, for me, seems to be the same exact thing for DeFi and protocols of that sort of smart contracts, so the demand for ETH will be a lot better, will be a lot higher. Now, the TCP IP doesn't have a coin that goes along with it, but Ethereum does. And right now, as I said yesterday, it's become, there have been periods of time this year where Ethereum was deflationary. In essence, to explain this, and I'm just going to write this here, all right, there was a time where the issuance, all right, was the percentage of issuance, and this is, I'm going to put this here, let me put in percentage, was less than the burn rate. Now, the burn rate, okay, now because of the EIP, the London hard fork EIP 1159 update, what does this mean? When the burn rate, or remember, if fees are created or when fees that happen because of NFT minting or just transactions in general, it creates, gas fees, and those gas fees are then burnt later on. Now, those fees being burnt, if the issuance, now I believe it is about 0.8 ETH per block or something like that of inflation, something along those lines. But there have been times during this year where the burn rate or the amount of tokens burnt is more than the actual issuance, which makes it deflationary. Okay. And that deflationary system right there, which is only going to get better, especially as we go into proof of stake consensus mechanism for the 2022, it's going to be absolutely crazy. So for me, Ethereum is the ticking time bomb, and any time to buy Ethereum right now is good. I know for a fact, looking at the price action, I wouldn't be surprised. And I've seen some reports that they expect Ethereum to even be at least $35,000. Now, where it is right now is about 35. Let's call it 3.6. So that's 10x from where we are right now. And to be honest, I'd rather own one Ethereum right now than own one Ethereum at 35K, to be honest. So Ethereum to me is an amazing buy. And as much as Bitcoin, I understand the economical impact that Bitcoin has, and it should be definitely considered. But I do really think Ethereum is a ticking time bomb, and we still have a chance. Okay. Now, Ethereum hasn't reacted much to this, the pockets of shorting we've had. And, whilst Bitcoin has had major swings, notice Ethereum, the price has been very stable. All right. Now we have a 2 perfect trend line going on, which means that the price may drop beneath here. But as I discussed earlier on this week, we had a grab of liquidity right here. Now this liquidity grab was a fantastic trigger, and we saw a massive long erupt from there. So this was institutional buying. Even if you didn't have on-chain analytics, this is something that we can go for to see what the price is doing. Now this trend right here, sideways movement. It's not sideways, but it's still upwards. I believe the price is trying to build momentum to get to this high. Now, this high is the highest point we've had in September. And I do expect a reaction temporarily short to happen, simply because above this high right here, I don't want to call them dumb robots, but just robots in the market definitely will be setting pending orders above here for buy limits and etc. Even some sell limits too, stop losses and different things like that. So I believe that pool of liquidity created from all those orders should trigger reaction. Now, Ethereum could just break right through and go back to where we're looking for, which is right here. If I put this right where we are right here, some sort of flip zone. So if I drag it right here, I would expect the price to do something of this sort right here and then go for a short. Okay, that would be the first target. Now, Bitcoin day, okay, for Ethereum was right around about here. And Bitcoin has already crossed its, the high of Bitcoin day already. So Ethereum is next, which is why I say that Ethereum just has a bit of a delay on it, which is a healthy delay, because if it took off now as it's supposed to, the prices are going to become rapidly more expensive. So I definitely think Ethereum, this is not financial advice legally, but for me, Ethereum is even a better buy than Bitcoin to me for the medium term anyway. All right. So I want to see what Ethereum does over the weekend. The gains might not be exponential as Bitcoin, because that's the central focus at the moment. But we know how the cycle is. Ethereum, as large as it is still an altcoin. Anything that's not Bitcoin is an alternative or altcoin. So Ethereum still stands in the altcoin category, although it's becoming, the market cap is about 20% of the entire market. But we'll see what the market is going to do, and we'll go from here. Now, again, I'm looking at Doge, and I wanted to discuss it a little bit here. Doge did something that I was looking at and waiting for quite a while, but then we had a very massive, large movement when I was expecting it to go a bit further short. But we had a demand zone here, guys, and follow me as I talk. So from August the 9th, approximately, we had a long erupt, return back here, and notice that the second leg of this movement here is not as strong as the first. And then we had Bitcoin there, which, I wouldn't want to say, well, it is what it is, guys, which coincidentally closed beneath this order block right here, which gave us a break beneath demand. Now, in the recent spike in price that we've had, I believe triggered by some of the stuff going on with Shiba Inu as well, we've had a return to the other side. Now, if you remember any of the lives that I did, I kept talking about looking for a short because we had this close, but we didn't have a proper return here. The price kissed the order block, but didn't return to the other side. Now, a few days back, we had a signature of reversal right here, which potentially could give us a short. So on Doge, I am actually looking for a short compared to a long from a technical standpoint. Now, this week, we've been in an accumulation, and it seems to be continuing in that manner, okay? Now, if I was a retail trader, I would have drawn a triangle like this, in this manner. And so because we have this kind of, situation going on at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised now. Now, in this case, because there's a triangle like that, a lot of retail traders will be thinking, what should I do, buy or sell? All right. Now, right now, when it comes to Doge, it's not really possible for there to be hardly any institutional investment. And I don't think any serious institution has any Doge. Okay, if institutions are rushing for Bitcoin ETFs because they can't actually physically hold onto any Bitcoin at the moment, there's no way that they have any Doge. Okay, I do think exchanges would have it because they're going to need to. Yeah, but I do think that we are going to see a long. And I think this long is to deceive traders onto the wrong side of Doge for a return back to this order block and then a short. which I think is going to produce the short that I've been waiting for quite a while. And the short that I'm looking for, the first target I have, and I'm not changing my mind, is at 7 cents. Okay. Unless there's going to be some crazy market effect that affects Doge, this is my first target beneath the lows here because we have a pool of liquidity that was never dealt with. And then the second target, guys, now that's already 1,000 pips, which is an amazing trade. And I'm looking to get that on Doge. And second target would be back down to here, 0.007. So I'm watching very carefully to see what the price is going to do. And I'm interested to see how that pans out. Okay, so I just gave you a shout out for a trade, guys. So if you want to grab one, this is one that you definitely want to go for. Okay. All right. And let's look at the rest of the market and see now. Solana, okay, has shown a very different, I wouldn't say it's a complete deviant, but has shown very different patterns from Bitcoin and how the price is behaving. I mean, there are some similarities, but I do think Solana really is doing its own thing. Because of the stage of where Solana is in its development, a lot of great partnerships have come along, and because Solana is a different type of blockchain from Bitcoin and Ethereum in some senses, it's had a major run-up of its own. The all-time high that is seen happened in September. You know, I don't believe that Bitcoin Day actually affected it. I think, yeah, Bitcoin Day did happen to it. The price only dropped down, but shot straight back up again. And at the moment, the price is kind of range between this area. Now, the week started off with a reversal. Now, the reversal seems quite weak compared to the bullish side of the market. So I do expect the price to continue going long, for me anyway. Now, on the daily time frame, what could we say about Solana? Well, there isn't much to the left anymore that we can use as a picture of what the price is going to do. I do expect Solana at one point to return back to $65, maybe in the bear market. But for now, where are we with Solana? Well, there's only 2 demand zones left, and I use the daily, guys, because it's one of the most stable time frames to be able to make, you know, good assumptions and things. So go back to gray for a minute. All right, slate gray instead. Here we go. The price has returned to demand here, and we've had a short from that. But it doesn't seem like the short produced the effect it was supposed to. So my first real, I would say, Solana breakout, if you want to call it that. I do think Solana's all-time high is going to be pushed a lot higher than where it is right now. But I'm expecting to see a body close here. So if you're observing now, when I gave you guys the last buy up entry, it was around $120. The price dropped to 120 on the dot. And I said that you guys go for a buy. Right now it's at 166, which is a good percentage gain. I think that's like 33%. So not bad. And that was based on the H1 supply zone flip. But if we have a close above 181 anytime from now and a return, then I would expect the price to launch off and start to attack the all-time high. And this can all happen in one day over the weekend. It depends really, guys, on the flow of money over the weekend. And there could be many reasons that trigger the price to, or things to happen in that manner, okay? So I would say just keep your eyes peeled for now until further notice, okay? And that's Solana. All right, so we have some good trading plays and also some good holding plays. Now there's no, I mean, I heard this and I would agree in some senses. If you don't trade Ripple like I do, then it may not make sense as to why to analyze Ripple. Now Ripple is on Hugo's way anyway, presents very good opportunities for buying and for selling. And Ripple's kind of had an interesting week where it keeps bouncing between that dollar mark, that psychological level. And it got as high this week as $1.10 before getting pushed back down to $1.07. But at least the market dropping down here, which was the trade that I gave out, the price dropped down to $1 and has, you know, closed past it quite well. And now it seems like the week is going to close at $1.07. But I have expectations just from a technical standpoint for Ripple to do a lot more than what it's doing at the moment. Okay. There was this spike here in the price, which on the order book means that there's inefficiency that needs to be filled out. And that's all the way at around about $1.25. So I know at some point the price will come for these highs right here. All right. And the positive sign again here is that if we look at, for example, this week here, it's been a bit of a struggle, but the price has closed above that week here. So the next target would be the next high, you know, of the previous week, which is where the first red line is. So let me straighten this out. which is around about here, $1.12. So I'm hoping we close above here and then we start to move towards $1.24. Now, back to what I was saying, because of this SEC case, so a lot of people have said that it doesn't even make any sense to really analyze the price of Ripple because it all hinges on whether they win or lose that case. Now, as time is going on, the crypto community, I believe as a whole, can agree that it seems more and more likely that XRP, Brad Garlinghouse and his gang are going to win this case and probably just come out with a simple settlement. Okay, but what it does mean for crypto means that because XRP, now remember guys, XRP even in 2017 was in the top 10 at one point of cryptos. It's been around for a very long time, since 2013. And, what Ripple does when it comes to cross-border payments and some of the unique opportunities it offers to banks and different things for cross-border payments and etc. is is basically one of the largest parts of society, and economy, which is connectedness and connecting different fiat currencies and different things through a network that can be efficient for banks and for people. So with XRP, yes, the price has definitely been delayed, but I believe the anticipation alone about this case, if there is a settlement that is announced, XRP could do more than I even think it's supposed to do, okay? Or even not, I wouldn't say in the sense of the market cap, but I think XRP will do more than the all-time high by a large margin simply because of the anticipation, because it is at the moment the only crypto that I know that is in the top 10 for both bull cycles, which hasn't taken its all-time high at all. Now it's come close. The closest it's done so far is at this $1.95. And this movement, guys, over this movement here from 50 cents going onwards was all because there was news of some sort of a progression in the case. So XRP's price action, unfortunately, is completely hinged, not even 99, 100% hinged on what happens to the outcome of this SEC investigation. Now, the all-time high of Ripple here is $3.29. And when the price in the last bull cycle took off, it was probably one of the highest performing cryptos of that time, because you can see right here, Ripple was about 0.006, during August, 1st of August, all right, 2017, Ripple was 0.0063. And it went from there all the way to $3.29, which is over, I believe that's about 500x or something like that. So Ripple was one of the best performing altcoins in the last season. And the movement only took a few weeks. 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, Ripple went from 21 cents all the way to $3.29. Now, some charts say $3.31 and others say $3.16. So in that $3 range, okay? Now, because of what we've had with the case, this first spike here was because of the case. So for me, if Ripple wins this case from where it is right now, I believe that it could even hit $10 without even blinking, just because of the anticipation. Now, I know that every crypto has its pros and cons, and every crypto has good benefits about them, but the delay on the case has really caused there to be such a high anticipation. There's some people who have given up on Ripple, other people who are loading up even more, and there's other people who are just simply patiently waiting since whenever. So because of that, I think that this whole situation is really going to be highly weighted on this case. So I want to see, how the price behaves moving forward. And I'll suggest you guys do the same thing. Okay. The moment that there's a settlement, guys, this thing's going to rocket. Now, I think it'll have an initial spike, but then it'll continue to just keep rallying because it will open the door for many. I think even for institutions, some people, it's legal to, well, so it's still okay. It still can buy Ripple in certain exchanges. Okay. But I think as soon as this happens, remember, guys, when XRP was delisted from exchanges and whatnot, okay, that reduced the amount of potential volume and market cap it can have because less places can buy. And there's some places or some countries where, well, in theory, some countries that can only access certain exchanges. If they don't have Ripple, then they have no chance, unless, I guess, if they use DeFi to swap out their Ripple or swap out a crypto for Ripple or something. That's kind of like the backdoor way, but essentially, if this case is won, then that means that exchanges can now list Ripple again, and that's going to make especially one of the biggest places that have delisted Ripple is Coinbase, and Coinbase is a behemoth of a company. So imagine now the settlement comes along, we have an initial spike, and then Coinbase turns around and says, okay, we're going to list XRP, you can trade it again. Ripple could actually probably do 10x from its all-time high. Who knows? Okay, the potential is almost unlimited due to this pressure. So Ripple, as a trade, I think the risk to reward, the risk of it becoming zero compared to what it could do, I think is absolutely insane. So I'll be keeping my eyes firmly fixed on that. Now, to end off this session, all right, let's have a look at what we have going on with the current market. Let's see what the coin market cap looks like right now. So I'm going to switch over. Let's see what we have in terms of our gainers and our losers. All right. Now, there's crypto activity or crypto mania everywhere. And I'm excited to see, that the market is still pulling through and giving good opportunities wherever we can find. So I'm watching out carefully to see what takes place. And I'm hoping that, we're going to see some great price action moving forward. So we got to keep our eyes peeled in the market, guys, because again, you hear me rambling on, but these markets are only going to get better. So anyway, we have the biggest gainers here, which, I mean, Nano Dogecoin, I don't even know what the hell that is, but the percentage that is done, I don't even know what. Let's just have a look and see what that is. I don't even know how to put that into words. That's like 1 trillion %. Wow. It doesn't even make, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This has done 1 trillion %. I don't even know. Where is it available on? PancakeSwap. It's gone to $31. Wow. Boy. It's done a gain of 1, 2, 4. How many zeros would that be if I was to just take the zeros? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 zeros. So in the billion, 124 billion %. Oh my God. Now, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know who made that. I don't even understand. It doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't know if this is just a price feed something, but this is strange. Don't even know what Nano Doge is or what it even does, but they have a website. Let's go and quickly see. I'm just very intrigued now. Nano Doge. Don't know what to say, but goodness me. Crazy. Interesting anyway. If somebody actually made that one whatever percentage, I would like to know that. Because if you put £100 right there, you'll be a billionaire. But I'm sure that's probably just numbers playing at play. So let's look at the top 100. Let's see the biggest gainer. So Harmony's had a massive gain. Phantom also. Chile's 14%. Elrond, again, always going. Sia Coin still here. Solana 6%. So natural normal gains. Let's see biggest losers this week. So Shiba's down 13%, which is going to be naturally, it would, after a 300% tear. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Kusama down a little bit, but for me, Kusama, I believe, is a long-term play, and it's going to be an absolutely amazing project, over time, over the next 10 years. All right. Let's have a look and see what's going on the second page, see if there's anything. All right. So at the moment, guys, I would say technicals are important. Again, please don't, I know that, maybe charts might not be for you, but you need to, in this market, you need to make it for you. That's the best way I can put it to you. Please don't, please don't ignore technical analysis, because it's not just about how to read the charts so that you can, find the best entries, but you want to understand the players in the market, because with crypto, as time goes on, there's going to be new players, which means more psychologists, more psychological stuff going on in the markets that you want to pay attention to. All right. So if you need somewhere to go, I have a 2-part series in this channel called How You'll Not Survive the Crypto Market in 2021 Without This Skill. Or, well, I would say even on top of that, for further study, I have a 4-part course you can go straight through, sign up, get yourself in there, and start cracking on with the stuff. So let's finish off. Let's see on the second page here. All right. You know what, guys? On a side note, Bitcoin standard hash rate. I'm kind of annoyed I didn't get in because it was about $16 when I saw it last. According to Bitcoin hash rate, I think if you own Bitcoin hash rate, you can earn Bitcoin. Okay, basically Bitcoin standard hash rate is something that's come up by the Binance team, where if you hold this token, you can actually get some Bitcoin. Okay, the percentage, I guess, of course, will be small, but I think it's to do with sharing energy. But anyway, it's had a massive price spike because I believe Bitcoin's also had a massive price spike, and that means the blockchain would have increased in terms of the hash rate being pushed out. So this is directly dependent on the hash rate. I actually want to show you this, guys. Let me just go to the website one more time. Let's load this up and have a look. All right. Don't know, it's taking a bit long to load. All right, let's see. Here we go. So Bitcoin standard hash rate, guys, you have to understand. Well, now they've had a redenomination as well. All right, they went from, I remember it was a 1 to 10 denomination, but I saw that, let's go here. Now, according to this little chart, if you see the red or the green, when the price is above this $50 line, then it's in the green in the bull. We've had a pullback here back to just underneath $50, which is not bad at all, which might be a good entry to get in now. A few days ago, before Bitcoin started to spike, it was $15. So this is highly correlated to Bitcoin. Now, at the highest point that it was, okay, it was $92 in the new redenomination. But before it would have been, I remember it was about $450. Okay, and I remember when it first came out, and when the redenomination happened, it pushed the price down, which was great. But this thing has been down even down to $14, bouncing around there until it's taken off recently. And I believe it's going to take off again. You know, that 35% drop is nothing compared to the almost 200% gain. But let me just quickly go over to the website just to show you what it's like. So BST Finance, if I click on it here. All right. So BSCST brings Bitcoin to DeFi, basically. So let me just quickly show you what it does. Put this here. Okay, cool. If I go through from the white paper, then it will explain to you what it goes on. So the white paper is quite short. Okay. Now it talks about Bitcoin. So, and this is the key here. And this is going to become a bigger thing as we go on, cloud mining. So Bitcoin mining is a profitable venture with limited liquidity. Most miners choose between holding onto equipment for years or relying on brokers for infrequent sales. Okay. This lack of liquidity means Bitcoin miners have few ways to hedge against or profit from the price fluctuation of mining machines. The same also discourages newcomers from seriously participating in Bitcoin mining. Finally, while traders often have the interest to gain Bitcoin mining exposure from it, it can be viewed as Bitcoin long options. High transaction costs dissuade them. Okay, a market needs to be made. So here's what BTCST have done. So cloud mining is an imperfect solution. While cloud mining lowers the barrier of entry to mining, lack of standardization and product coupling make markets hard to form around mining contracts. So we propose to solve this problem, or they have, with BTCST, a token collateralized by standardizing Bitcoin mining power, which I think is absolutely mathematical genius. But by standardizing and tokenizing mining power in BTCST, here we go, and listing the token for exchange trading, we can bring exchange grade liquidity to the mining power market while meeting traders' need for mining exposure. Okay. So in essence, what happens here is that for each BTSC token collateralized by a standard unit of actual Bitcoin mining power, holding the token is legally, number one, which is important, and functionally equivalent to owning the underlying mining power. Staking the token on-chain will entitle the staking holder to receive mining rewards in Bitcoin. Now, there's nothing else I need to say from here, but this is one of the most powerful things I've seen. And I think it's a mathematical genius to do that. So if you hold and you stake, and again, BTC, ST, you can earn some Bitcoin. That's all I have to leave you with. If you want to get some Bitcoin, this is how you can do it. And it's a lot cheaper than trying to buy Bitcoin. Now, I don't know exactly the ratio, but it does have a maximum supply of 50 million. I do expect this to, as Bitcoin becomes more and more preferred, this thing could actually go to like $1,000. So for me, it's a great buyer every time. And currently right now, you have about 48, is at $48. So it's just dropped beneath the $50 mark. So it's gone from a bullish part to a bearish. And if it pulls back even lower over the weekend, or if the weekend gains kick off, this might take off. So you have an opportunity right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Everybody take care.